Welcome to the North American Hunting Odyssey, where members experience and share the Odyssey we call the Hunt. This program has been created specially for members of the North American Hunting Club. Our first Odyssey takes us to Wyoming, hunting mule deer with member Francis Smith. Your pictures speak louder than words, Francis. We can only shout, you do our club proud.
Yeah, I say he's had it. How's he look, Bob?
Hangs himself up pretty good.
I don't know. Don't let him kick you.
He can kick me unless he jumps back.
Well, he can kick you with front paws.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is he tore up good?
No, he didn't tore up that bad.
He's coming after you, better watch him. They don't know that, though. Be careful of him. Did you hear that grunt at you? The fence is tight.
You'll fucking die if you don't fucking knock yourself out.
You working on him?
You can't fucking do that. Fucking head around.
What do you think?
When I get some slack here, it's probably I'm gonna lose it. Leg goes this one, right? Yeah, you can get his leg go to this one. Flick him out. Loud on them like that right there because he'll probably flip when you do this. Just hold it down. baby, go. See you later. A buck deer. A buck deer, and I let him go. Boy, killed me.
While Francis and his pal put the fence right, let's travel to Missouri with member Jim Martin. He had a similar experience, with a little different twist.
What? Ready? Better watch his legs. That little deal will drop out of there if you don't watch it. Tip.
I'm gonna need something bigger than this, I think, to get him undone.
I got a tool wrench, got a tar tool on the back.
That'll do it. I'm gonna need it. That's what I'm gonna need.
What?
Just a minute, buddy. It's gonna take me just a second.
Better watch his legs.
I am. Well, I gotta get in here close.
How about jumping the fence? Get on the other side. He can't do much there.
Man, he's tied in here tight.
No telling how long he's been there. Quite a little while. Wire cutters, I just hate to cut.
I don't want to cut his feet.
You know whose fence this is? Oh.
Oh, is that?
Can we cut it?
Well, that's past the bank. How many wires can I have cut?
Just one?
Go ahead and cut it.
Let me catch this somewhere.
Yeah. No. Let me get this. If I can get this down
Which
there.
way does this need to go? This way?
I need to
Got to
get
go over his. Man, he's hung up. He's hurt good.
If he could just pull his leg down now.
Huh? Well, I think it'd be worth a try to save him.
I'll say it again. All you guys do our club proud.
No blood in his front legs. Easy, boy.
Take time. Every hunter remembers that first deer hunt. Here are some first memories worth sharing.
Shooter, take your time.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Yes. Let's go get that mini.
He's going down. He's going down. He's going down.
How you know?
He's falling all over the ground. Where do you think you hit him?
I don't know. Do you think I did hit him?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Let's go find him.
Oh, we gotta give him a minute. You hit him hard.
Any deer here at Bent Creek?
A lot of deer at Big Creek.
I'm telling you, he fell right inside the woods. So I'm gonna let you find
It all
him.
happened so fast. He just came out of the edge and it was like, I gotta shoot him. Let's go see if we can find him.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over here with you and show you where he went in the woods, and I'm gonna let you go ahead, but you gotta keep your gun down, keep it ready and all that. So let's walk over here. He ran out right in there. Let's go. I saw where it hit on camera. I know he couldn't, he didn't go, what, 25 yards outside the field pile up. He is a big one. How dark he is.
Should I have shot him a little bit higher?
No, that's perfect. You know, right in here. Golly, you can go any piece. That little 243. First deer. Can you believe it? Oh, great. How about it, cuz?
It's gonna be right today.
It's one of them dreary days for a big buck, ain't it?
Yeah, it's sleeting. They say it's gonna turn to snow. I hope it does.
Hey,
Spanking
ain't no place I'd rather be than Bent Creek when it's fixing to get right.
it. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm in this shooting house instead of up a tree.
What you got to eat there, buddy?
You gotta know.
I got this right here.
You still got some more.
Got the pepper. And an apple.
How long you plan on being here?
How long does it take?
Takes.
He's standing pretty good, John. He's standing pretty good.
All right, I'm on him.
Just take your time.
Just squeeze it.
You just wait till you got your shot. You know where to shoot.
I'm getting too nervous.
Don't worry about that.
He ain't gonna be out of room.
Whenever you're ready, just ease it off. Take your time. He's ready when you want to.
I
Shoot him again. There he is.
Hurry, shoot him. Shoot him. He hit him. Got him that time.
Cha-ching.
I think you whacked him that second shot. Was you nervous?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought your daddy was asleep and he saw him first. Didn't
He was asleep.
he? What'd he say?
He said, there he is. I thought he was joking. That's the best luck I've ever had in the rain.
Hey, that's a big old buck. In the rain. He's a big old deer. You fired up?
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you get nervous?
Yes. A lot.
Hey, Daddy put you on one, did?
Big time.
Over the years, we've received lots of mail requesting information on reloading. This next segment does a great job answering just about everything.
Hi, I'm Steve Hornady. and I'd like to introduce you to metallic cartridge reloading. It's a great hobby, and it will save you a lot of money. In fact, most shooters start reloading because they can produce a box of rifle or pistol ammunition for about half the cost of factory loads.
But that's just part of the story. You don't have to reload for long to discover there's a lot of other advantages too. Being able to shoot more can just naturally help make you a better shot. Not only because you can afford to practice more, but because you'll be shooting ammunition that you've tailored to give you better performance than what you can buy.
In other words, reloading can help you turn groups like this into groups like this. And it can help you bag trophies like this. So, when you reload, you can shoot more, you can shoot better, and it will cost you less. Let's get started.
The first thing you'll need is a good, sturdy surface to work on. It doesn't have to be as elaborate as this reloading bench, just some place where you'll have plenty of room to work and to store your equipment and supplies safely out of the way. You'll want to equip your bench with a good reloading press. For this demonstration, we've chosen Hornady's 007 single-stage press, but there are many other presses available in a wide range of prices. For your press, you'll need a set of dies to match the caliber you plan to load. You'll want a scale to check the weight of your powder charges, a measure to dispense powder accurately, a trimmer for bringing cases back to correct length. And you'll need a few accessories for cleaning and lubricating cases prior to loading. You'll also need a box of bullets, a can of powder, primers, and a supply of fired cases. Or, if you don't have fired cases, you can purchase new, unprimed cases from your shooting supply dealer. And something else very important, a good reloading manual. A book like this can give you all the details about the cartridge you plan to reload, plus vital information on the type and amount of powder to load with various bullets. Always pay close attention to this data and never exceed the maximum load indicated. Also, plan to spend more time studying the ballistics information in the back of your reloading handbook. It will show you what kind of performance you can expect from the cartridge you're loading, and that can save you a lot of experimentation.
And now just a word about safety. It's always a good idea to wear safety glasses or glasses with hardened lenses to protect your eyes while you're reloading. And here are some other important rules to follow.
Always keep your reloading bench neat and orderly. And make sure that everything, from components to completed reloads, is clearly labeled to prevent mix-ups. Make sure you store powder and primers safely away from heat and out of the reach of children. As this demonstration shows, smokeless powder is flammable, but not violently so. It's safer to use and store than such common items as gasoline, cleaning fluid, or paint thinner. But treat it with caution. And remember, never to smoke when reloading.
And finally, take your time and pay attention to detail. Spending a little extra time making sure you're using the recommended procedures and the right reloading data can pay off, not only in extra safety, but in better performance as well.
And to get better performance, it will help you if you have a clear idea of what goes on inside the chamber of your gun when a cartridge is fired. This animated sequence shows a new factory load chambered and ready to fire. Notice that it's somewhat of a loose fit in the chamber. But this is normal since factory ammunition must be made to chamber in a wide range of firearms. Note that the bullet is not in perfect alignment with the bore and that the case does not contact the front of the chamber. But all of this changes when the trigger is pulled. The case moves forward when it is struck by the firing pin. This creates what is known as head space between the face of the bolt and the head of the cartridge. As the firing pin continues and ignites the primer, Notice that the violence of the flash backs the primer part of the way out of its pocket. As the powder is ignited, the pressure builds, causing the case to expand until it completely fills the chamber and prevents any escape of gas to the rear. Then, as the bullet exits up the barrel, the pressure drops and the case cools and contracts enough so that it can be easily extracted. And this, then, is what you'll be starting with. This case may have been fired just once, or it may have been fired several times. In any event, it needs to be carefully inspected before reloading.
The first step is to sort all cases by brand, even if the cases you have are all of the same caliber.
This is important since different manufacturers use different specifications for the same case. Next, carefully examine each case for defects. Don't reload any cases which have split necks, large dents, show signs of cracking or splitting in the head area, or which have enlarged primer pockets. You're now ready to remove the old primers and to resize the cases back to their original factory dimensions. To prepare for this operation, it's a good idea to brush out the neck of each case to remove powder residue and to wipe each case with a soft cloth to remove any surface grit. Now, with your cases cleaned, you're ready to start using your reloading press. To begin the deep priming and resizing operation, slip the shell holder head into the ram. Raise the ram to its maximum height, then screw in the sizing die. Adjust the die so that it just touches the shell holder head, and tighten the lock ring. Next, adjust the depriming spindle so that it extends far enough below the die to knock out the primer. Then lock the spindle. Now, take one of the cases you've just cleaned and lubricate it to keep it from sticking in the die. Next, slip the lube case into the shell holder head. Raise the ram so that the case goes completely into the die. As shown here in animation, this operation removes the spent primer and returns the case to its original factory dimensions. As part of this routine, make sure that you wipe any excess lubricant off each case before you place it in the loading block.
Once you've deprimed and resized all your cases, there are two more important steps that you should take.
First, clean the residue out of the primer pocket on each case so that you'll be ready to insert a new primer. Next, check the length of your case with a case gauge or calipers, or by using a new case or cartridge you save for reference. These cases are about 10 thousandths too long. This animated sequence shows how the resizing operation can lengthen the neck of the case to the point where it will be difficult to chamber in your gun. A bolt that's hard to close can be a warning sign that the case may be too long. Forcing the bolt closed can move the case forward and crimp it into the bullet. The result is excess pressure, which usually results in a painful recoil and can also be dangerous to you and the action of your gun. To prevent this problem, remember to check for correct case length. When you find cases that are too long, set up your case trimmer by inserting the proper shell holder and pilot. Then you can quickly trim them back to proper length. After trimming, the case mouth should be smoothed inside and out with a chamfering and deburring tool.
Now you have a clean, sized, and correctly prepared case ready to be primed.
Before you begin priming, check your reloading manual to be certain that you have the right primer. And also make sure your hands are clean and free from oil. Primers are small and difficult to handle, and touching them with oily hands can affect their performance and even cause misfire. One good way to avoid this is to use a primer turning plate, which makes it easier to orient primers all in one direction. Before priming, remove the size die, then place a primer in the primer cup. Next, raise the ram slightly insert a case in the shell holder, and return to seat the primer. This can be done manually, as we have just shown, but for speed and convenience, we recommend an automatic primer feed.
When priming, always make sure you seat the primer flush with or slightly below the head of the case.
Now that we have a supply of prime cases, we're ready to add powder. Again, you'll want to check your handbook to select a recommended powder and powder charge. Remember, too, that as you begin reloading, it's always wise to use powder charges which are well below the maximum level shown. Using your scale to check for accuracy, adjust your powder measure until it dispenses the exact recommended powder charge. If you don't want to buy a powder measure, you can use your scale to weigh each charge. However, most reloaders prefer the speed and convenience of a powder measure. After charging your cases, make sure you inspect them for uniform powder level, and also that you use your scale to make regular spot checks to ensure you're getting an accurate weight. When charging cases, you'll get more uniformity if you use a smooth, even motion. Also, it's a good idea to give the rotor an extra tap or two at the end of each cycle to make sure that the charge is completely dispensed. When using a powder measure, make sure you use a systematic method to prevent double charging. Now we're ready to seat the bullet. The easiest way we've found to adjust a die for this operation is to put an empty case in the shell holder and raise the ram to the top of the stroke. Then screw the die down until it contacts the case mouth. Next, lower the ram, insert a bullet, and raise the ram into the die. Now screw the seating stem down in small increments. This will begin seating the bullet in the case. When you have reached the selected length, you may also want to apply a crimp to secure the bullet in the case. To do this, back out the seating stem and screw the die down until you feel it begin to crimp the case mouth into the bullet. Then, screw the seating stem back down until it contacts the top of the bullet. Tighten the die lock ring, and you're ready to complete the seating and crimping process. Just place the bullet in the mouth of a charged case and raise the ram into the seating die. As shown here in animation, you now have completed the reloading process with a new primer, a resized case, a new charge of powder, and finally, a properly seated bullet. In a fraction of the time it takes to tell about it, you produced a precision cartridge you can be proud of.
But there's one more step. You need to be sure your reloads function properly in the chamber of your gun. However, for safety's sake, make sure the round you chamber is a dummy, without powder or primer. Now, to see how well our reloads shoot, let's take a quick trip to the Hornady Ballistics Laboratory.
Our ballistics specialists shoot tens of thousands of rounds each year in testing Hornady bullets for consistent accuracy. So we'll let them see how our reloads perform at 100 yards.
This is the actual 5-shot group made with the reloads that we've just produced. It's pretty good. But as you become more familiar with your handbook, you'll find ways to shoot groups that are even smaller.
You'll find that reloading gives you a wider choice of bullets than you've ever had before. And the extra choice you get by reloading means more ability to tailor-make a cartridge so that it will cost less and perform better than any you can buy. But don't rush it. Make sure you get started right with a good reloading outfit and that you remember these basics. Consult your handbook every time you reload. Play it safe. Never exceed the maximum powder charge indicated, and never trust your memory as to what is the right powder charge. Always store powder and primers safely, and check every step in your reloading process for accuracy. Remember to write it down. Always record settings and charges in your shooter's log so that you won't have to guess the next time. And make sure everything on your bench, from components to finished reloads, is clearly and accurately labeled to prevent mix-ups. And finally, don't forget that reloading is something the whole family can enjoy. When you teach someone to reload, you're teaching them a lot more than just an enjoyable hobby. You're teaching them self-reliance. You're teaching them how patience and attention to detail can pay off, both in better results and in a real feeling of self-improvement and personal worth. These are lessons that can have lifelong value.
Dead center.
Now don't adjust your VCR. This is just the beginning of a very funny tape we got from member Dolan Hawkins entitled, Why I Am Not a Cameraman.
Just ain't my day. I had them 2 turkeys within 6 foot, and I had them full viewfinder up close. Both really good toms, really big ones. And I didn't have a camera on. Just had, I had it on, but I didn't have it receiving. Kind of a pretty sunset here this evening. You win a few and you lose a few. Take the big turkey. I'd say he weigh about 22. 3-year-old bird. That's the same as, man, he's been breeding. Look at that. His old breastbone wore off. About 10-inch beard, maybe. Well, make good winter eating, I guess. This old one-shot gun, I guess I better throw it away and get me a single shot. I won't have to carry so much weight. No brag, just fact. Well, I wish old John Adams Skiski could be here. See that, John? That's called a turkey. Mini bite. Play's over. Work begins. This is what they look like when you carry them. When you carry them about a half mile, this is what they look like. And this is what you look like. You bust a sweat. Boy. Okay, I'll go get the camera. What I'm going to do here, take a picture of myself. Gotta hurry, grab my turkey. Oh, camera blinks. Guess what? Didn't work. Do it again. At first you don't succeed, you keep it going. Oh. You gotta take 2 or 3, especially when you don't make sure you got it on. Hi. All right. Whew. Now, make sure you get your gun shot. Heck, I don't even know if I'm getting it. I think I missed it every time. Smile, you sucker. Didn't work again. It just worked. Okay, here we go again. We'll try it again. You got 1 minute. Make sure you get the thing turned on. Pick up the turkey. Run, run, run. I'm tired. The rest just to take pictures. Didn't work. Boy, it's tough doing this by yourself. Doggone it. Oh, there it goes. It's live, it's live, it's live. Turkey, turkey, turkey. That's enough of that nonsense. I killed a fella. Oh well, that's the way it goes. You win a few, lose a few.
Most hunters fantasize about their dream hunt. Alaskan grizzly, Canadian moose, Rocky Mountain sheep. The list is endless. Meet member Brad Harris. His dream was to hunt a trophy boar in deepest, darkest Africa.
You know, it's a real pleasure waking up here in Zimbabwe, getting ready for your hunt. We're usually out here right at first light. You have an open air fire. You have your what they call cowboy coffee, which is very familiar to us in the States, over a fire, as well as some hot water. They drink a lot of hot tea here. And all your fixings are here ready for you when you get up. You usually have tea or coffee, and traditional breakfast is a bowl of porridge, which is a grain meal similar to our cream of wheat in the States, and it's very, very good. It's almost addicting, actually. Once you have that done, the trucks are being prepared for your exit out into the bush, and it just starts the day off pretty nice.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. When Rob arrives here, we usually get started and converse a little bit about what the day's going to bring, whether we're going to hunt certain species or whether we're going to hunt a certain paddock, which is a pasture to us. Their paddocks here run, what, Rob, 3,000 to 5,000?
3,000 to 5,000 on average.
3,000 to 5,000 acre paddocks, so that's pretty good. And how many paddocks do you have total?
We're talking over 100 paddocks.
Well over 100 paddocks, so that's a lot of ground out there to cover. And so we try to formulate a plan early in the morning and try to stick to it as the day goes by.
Brad came to Africa looking for trophies. The African wild boar would be his first challenge.
Yeah, did you see it? You don't think it hit him? You didn't see it hit him?
Yeah, it's very solid, so it's more in the flesh of the shoulder.
How about it around the point of the shoulder?
That should do the job.
You rolling? I tell you what, we haven't been here, but we haven't been hunting half an hour. We've already got stock and shot a pig for supper. I tell you what, it's exciting. Broadhead did a good job. He didn't go, what is that, about 80 yards maybe?
Less than 100.
Less than 100.
There we go.
Nice pig.
Just what we want for the kitchen.
That's what you're going to eat the rest of the week.
At this rate, you're going to get fed up with eating pig. What sight can you shoot on that?
Quiet. Extremely quiet. I couldn't believe he jumped the string.
First kill.
First. Right, we've been in trouble. But
Yep.
Yeah, they're kind of like.
don't tell me that.
Action.
Mechanics in action.
It's nice to have somebody get free to charge me on.
Yeah, Randy's my mechanic whenever we're out hunting. He's my mechanic. Every time we go hunting together in the States, we have truck trouble, I make him work on it.
Yeah, this old truck here has been around the clock. I don't know how many times. You lost count. Third engine. Big tourist.
When we were here in 1984, we went to Whitetails.
We got you on video now, Jim. Video.
I like
Video camera.
yours.
Motion pictures.
I know, I like this stuff.
Oh yeah, but you got to see it. Man, you got to see his shed. Stick it in your belly, Ron. There it is. Alright, now we got it. That's bad as me. Every time I'm on camera, I stick in my stomach as hard as I can. If I don't get caught, I got it all pushed out. Yeah, I look like I'm oh, that's terrible.
After a little shop talk and a noon meal featuring pork tenderloins, they were back on the trail looking for a trophy.
pig with a lot.
Eh?
There's a lot of brush.
Yeah, there's a bloody good shoal. There's just sticks in there.
There's lots of brush.
Now he's got another hole in him. That's more blood to leak out. But he's leaking well.
Oh,
He's been lying up there for some time now.
Yeah. He didn't want to run that time.
No, he's not.
Huh? I see some pretty good tusk on him that time.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah. Well, Rob, I tell you what, I've shot several pigs in the States, and this is a little, seems to be a little tougher critter than what I'm used to shooting at.
What we're trying to emphasize here is a good, sturdy, two-bladed broadhead. I've used this Zwicky very successfully. This broadhead you're using here now, obviously it's impressive. Your penetration is superb. In fact, the arrows are just whistling through this pig like butter. And as you say, it's amazing how much punishment they can take.
It really is, and I'm like you. I'm sure glad I came with this setup. I've got a heavy arrow, got a good two-blade Simmons head. I think this Wicky's a good choice.
You got a durable broadhead there.
And this is something that people should understand. If they get ready to come to Africa, bring some heavy equipment, bring some heavy weights. And talking with you the last couple of days and watching some of these animals, I believe it 100%.
They're tough. The same applies to rifle hunting. They can take a lot of punishment. And even with some good shot placement, bullet placement, those animals can still cover distance. And I've seen pigs here riddled with arrows. They look like a porcupine, and they just keep going.
Earlier, Brad said, looks like it's got pretty nice tusks. And they were. But it wasn't a trophy. Reflecting on the day's hunt, Callan, one of the trackers, reminded Brad and Rob of the white Montoya, the giant trophy boar that had outsmarted them 2 days before. At this point, the decision was unanimous. Track down the white Montoya.
up east half. We could try and take a run up the rise and see what they do.
I think we go straight at him.
Yeah. You guys say anything, others be an indication up there. Still.
Blood, it's good blood in here. There's my arrow's laying there.